Ladies, gentlemen, to the Speaker of the House, my name is Thomas Emmett, and I'm a nurse. I've been a nurse for almost 7 years now. I've worked in every floor of my hospital, but mostly telemetry and med surge. Occasionally other places as they send me. But I'm here today to talk to you about this bill that's currently being considered. It's New York A00474, and I've recently participated for my Bachelor of Nursing program in a college debate, discussing this. And the title of the bill, the topic of it, is that it requires hospitals to establish a violence prevention program and conduct an annual safety and security assessment for the purpose of protecting healthcare workers, patients, families, and visitors, because as we all know, the hospital is a very dangerous place in more ways than one, but more so for the nurses and the healthcare workers. The best argument I have for this bill is that violence against healthcare workers is much higher than in many other occupations, most all occupations, according to research and statistics. But at the same time, the best argument against it is that this is going to require a lot of money and time and staff and hiring and training in order to make this work. It's going to have to change some policies and procedures, how things are done, and it's not going to be easy, but it's needed. So at the moment, the bill has been introduced and it's in the committee to go to the House, where it should be heading next before it goes to the Senate. Two main reasons why this bill needs to be considered. First talking point is that the number and percent of nurses that experience violence at their workplace is near 100%. Depending on where they work, it can be from either half to all of nurses that experience it, whether it's verbal abuse or physical violence, usually from the patients, but sometimes from family members or even other coworkers at the hospital. But throughout a whole nurse's career, their whole time of working, the number can reach 95 to 100%. Of course, it depends on where you work, what floors, and what kind of patients you deal with, but pretty much every nurse is guaranteed to have some sort of violence-related problem at work at some point in their life, and it's quite frequent. So the second talking point related to that is that these attacks that nurses face, both verbally and physically, that they can end up hurting them physically. They could end up in the ER with cuts or scrapes or broken bones, depending on what's going on. They might even have some mental issues, some trauma they have to deal with from this, and it could take days or weeks or maybe years to work through. It costs them money, it costs the hospital money, and it puts them out of work, which contributes to the nursing shortage that has always been, and it just puts more work on everyone else who is still there, taking up for the missing nurses who are not able to work. But besides that, it decreases the quality of patient care, and even if the nurses are able to go to work, it causes them to have difficulty working as they normally would due to mental trauma and fear of maybe the same thing happening again. So I think this bill needs to be heard and considered so that it can move forward into the House and the Senate and to continue along through the process so that it can be passed. Now, this problem of violence against nurses, it's not just a problem in New York, but it's a worldwide issue that has only gotten worse due to COVID. And if you look at the research, it's a worldwide thing, China and Europe and America. And just in the last few years alone, it's gotten a whole lot worse. You know, people are upset. They don't like to wait. The hospitals are overcrowded, and the nursing shortage, of course, is still there. And with people being sick and out of work, especially healthcare workers, it puts a bigger strain on the hospitals, and it just causes more anger and more violent tendencies towards nurses. So I think this bill needs to move forward, And once it's able to pass through this state, through New York, I believe that as other states and countries look at it and they see that it's changing the situation and it's improving the situation, that other places will look at it and consider passing bills of their own that are similar to this one, and perhaps it might help further the process of improving nurse safety, patient safety, hospital safety, and just increasing the experience for everyone, making it better. So I think it's important to start somewhere, and that somewhere is right here. So I thank you for your time and consideration as you consider this bill. Thank you.